Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Brian Lee. You may remember me from such 10 lab videos as Off We Go to Colombia. But today, I'm here to talk to you about our adventures in Myanmar. Now let's get started. I remember when I was flying into Yangon and looking down from the plane in the window. It was just like any normal city, any normal large city. Large towns, the streets, buildings everywhere. But when I got off the plane and I boarded my flight to go to Heiho, it was entirely different. Looking down, I could only see farmland. And the only buildings and streets was just this one street that had buildings around it. That was the difference between Yangon and Heiho.
Upon landing in Heiho, we were fortunate enough to be put up in this lovely hotel, the Royal Airstrip, by our client Windrock International. This place is a home away from home, with an abundance of friendly people and amazing hospitality.
Being a city boy growing up, I never would have thought that coming out to rural areas such as Heiho, Myanmar, would be so fascinating. The moment that we landed from the plane and checked in our hotel, we met Mr. Chan. He gave us a tour of his business, his farmlands, introduced us to the crops that he grew, and told us about the problems he was facing that he wanted us to help with.
Our first day here in Heiho, we immediately met with our client, Mr. Yu Chan Tui of Heiho Potato Company Limited. We began the day by going around to his farms in the highlands and the lowlands. We really wanted to get a grasp of his farming, his crops, and every single operation that he was involved in. When we made it out to the farm, it was truly breathtaking. The farms are just stunning with their rolling hills, and I've never seen so much green in my life, to be completely honest.
So among many of the crops that Mr. Chan showed us, he specialized in potatoes, but also had crops in ginger, garlic, turmeric, corn, cabbage, and rice. So after being given a tour of his farmlands, Mr. Chan introduced us to the storage areas in which he kept his crops. The first storage facility we saw were made of bamboo. Although these bamboo huts were simple and rudimentary, they have lasted him at least 10 years. The second storage facility we saw were made of brick and mortar. And the last type of storage facilities we saw were made of metal. These were primarily made to house the cold storage units that Mr. Chan was soon going to buy.
After touring the farm and the storage facilities with our client, we were lucky to meet up with our contact from Windrock International, Miyatu. He's an extremely beneficial client to be with because of the fact that he had a relationship with our Heiho potato client and also worked for Windrock International. During our discovery, he was a saving grace in the fact that he was utilized as an interpreter and an inside observer of our client's company. It wasn't all just tours and meetings and work while we were here though. We wanted to ensure that we had some fun and some experiences that we could take home along the way. Some of these experiences include going to a KTV and singing our heart's content. Other experiences include visiting Inlay Lake, which is one of the most beautiful, picturesque lakes that you could ever imagine. We also indulged ourselves, maybe a bit too much, in this amazing food that this country has to offer. A little bit spicy, but still wonderful. And of course, there was some hijinks along the way because of the fact that sometimes we get a little bit stir crazy.
Instantly from the first day, when we met Mr. Chan, we were able to build rapport with him. And through that rapport, he invited us on travel excursions to see different towns, cities, and sightseeing. Through that process, we were able to build a lot of trust with him.
You understand my language? Two, three. Potato!
After a lot of work, discovery, tours, and meetings, we finally came up with 3 main recommendations for our client. Those recommendations were marketing, record keeping, and organizational structure. We decided that these were the most feasible during our time here and felt like these would go ahead and revolutionize Hey Ho Potato for a better future.
So the first was marketing. Currently, all he had was a word of mouth type of system for his marketing. What we implemented was building a new corporate website and implementing a social media campaign. And we also trained his employees in order to manage those resources.
Through record keeping, as of this moment, Hey Ho Potato was using all mental notes and handwritten notes to go ahead and keep statics of their inventory and other accounting items. We wanted to go ahead and create a company dashboard that they'd be able to utilize and go through that would translate the information quickly and efficiently.
And the third was organizational structure. Currently, we found that there were inefficiencies within this company. We implemented new roles and responsibilities for each person in the company and trained them on their new responsibilities.
To ensure the implementation and adoption of our recommendations was truly feasible for our client, we went ahead and created these social media accounts, created his website for him, and also did a training workshop in order to go ahead and educate the client's employees on record-keeping processes, technological training so that they could go ahead and maintain this after we were gone, and Excel-based training to ensure that they knew how to manipulate and navigate all the materials that we were transferring over to them.
So overall, this was an amazing experience. We were able to get a big picture view of an industry here in Myanmar. We were able to meet the locals, talk to people, and experience a different world from ours. I thought this experience was very humbling. It made me realize the amount of work that goes into a developing country and the type of aid that we provide through USAID, through Windrock International, and ultimately through Thunderbird from a Thunderbird Consulting practice such as ours. I'm truly grateful to be a part of this experience, and I hope you can be a part of it too.